Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic indie creator interview. It's your Caped Crusader Cody, and we are keeping it geekly with our with our returning guest, Perry Edwards. I'm so used to saying that bit that when I have returning friends come back on, I sometimes get tongue twist. Perry, welcome back to the show. We're here to break down Cold-Blooded Volumes Issue 1 and his brand new volume, Issue 2, and everything in between. Perry, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm Perry, your friendly neighborhood mangaka in the making an appearance on Keeping It Geekly.
So last time we had you on, we were breaking down Cold-Blooded Volume 1 and the Kickstarter for us. Give us a little bit on how that went for you and how the fulfillment ended up going.
Okay. Well, actually, I think we were talking about the pre-launch.
Oh, the pre-launch. That's right.
Yeah. The pre-launch page in my light was dying out. Like I was in the Taliban, the cave somewhere or something. But I got a better light now, and that's not happening. And yeah, I had collected at least up to 30 like followers right before launch, 30 or 31, and I had like 7 day one backers, and I got another backer next day. So it was a good launch. It was a good day one launch. That's what you want, because most people, they're either doors open or doors closed. Meaning they show up when the store opens, or they show up last minute right before it closes. So I may be waiting on a bunch of door closed people right now. I know yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I just spoke with some of my family members. They said they're gonna back, but you know, they pretty much said like I'm gonna wait till the end. I was just like, okay, all right,
back it now. Come on.
Yeah, back at night. Ease my fears.
So give us a little bit of a recap of who you are and how you got into creating comics.
Okay. I went to school for animation and graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Computer Animation, because I thought I had wanted to I had these characters and stories in my head ever since middle school, sketchbooks filled with them. I wanted to bring them to life, and I thought animation was the way to do it. But the more I learned about animation, even though I would still like to be in the animation industry, maybe as a storyboard artist, as an animator, for my own story to have full creative control, comics would be the best for me, because shows are always at the mercy of a network or a streaming service or whatever, and they can't plan ahead. They don't even know if they're going to get a next season or what. But this ensures I can make what I want how I want, and if it gets adapted, I just gotta hopefully it gets adapted right, and then it'll just be what I intended it to be.
So how was it like getting into this and having those notebooks filled with like content and ideas and different designs? Like do you feel like it kind of gave you a jump start, like jumping into Cold-Blooded Volume 1?
Yeah, because I've been thinking about this stuff for years, and I think it's a good sign, because I read Araki's book on making manga, or Araki being the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and he even said there's been often times where creators had like characters they thought of from their childhood, and it's just like that just lets me know like maybe I'm on the right path. Like this is it, just a confirmation.
So the story is about Rembrandt. He discovers that he has latent like reptilian abilities when an attempt's made on his life, but that's not all. He's also looking for his missing father. What was like some of the inspiration for this character when you were growing up? Like, has Rembrandt always been a character that's kind of been in the back of your head?
Yeah, he definitely is. As far as like, I came up with the design first, and then first he was just a lizard guy, then like the transformation ability I thought of later. His design is kind of partially inspired by like Sonic the Hedgehog, even though I'm not a big like Sonic person. But what was the rest of the question?
So, like, just what was some of the inspirations? Like, maybe, like, what were you watching around that time, or what were you reading?
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto,
Mm.
just any anime on TV. Really, that's the biggest inspirations. Because it's a character that is meant for fighting, and there's going to be a lot of fighting and action in my over the course of my manga. It's always going to come back to like, this is a battle manga.
Mhm.
It's not a talking heads manga. It's not a, it's going to be like fisticuffs.
So was it troubling transferring from like animation to like paper, or digital, like, making that jump from one like type of realm to another?
No, because I mean, I always drew traditionally, like first. So really, just learning animation was more of a jump from traditional to digital.
Okay.
And then when I made Cold Blooded, I'm just going back to what I know, save for the exception like Photoshop and Clip Studio, which I use some.
So is all of this mostly done traditionally then?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
And my process has changed over the course of it, and it may continue to change. I've actually been going more traditional because I'll buy the screen tones off of Amazon and I'll put them on, and it's just like that way I don't have to do screen tones. Pretty much all I do is I scan it, adjust the levels, and I letter it and format it, and then that's like pretty much it. Maybe if something's missing, anything like, oh, the speed line should go there, I might put in some speed lines or something in a panel on Clip Studio.
So working as the writer and the illustrator, I mean, how's that journey been for you so far? Has there been any like troubling like issues that you've had, or has it been pretty much smooth sailing?
It's smooth because it's just like I don't have to wait on anyone except myself, and I know what I want, and I don't have to like communicate or convey it to someone else and wait on them. It's very smooth.
Yes, and last we talked too, you've got into content creation yourself. I've noticed that you have a Twitch channel as well as a Discord that you made right when the Kickstarter for Volume 2 started, right?
Yeah, I made it like a few days prior to launch, and I invited some. I got people on there. I see it as like kind of like another. I've been on Discord a lot more recently in past year, and I used to not really like Discord all that much. But now that I've been like hanging out with people on it's a great way to like foster a community. And I was thinking like I should have one because I have the email list, but the email list is just like a one-way communication to people. I need something like a Discord, like that if it ever gets big enough, it'll keep on running like on its own when I'm not there, to keep people invested and around. That's my hope for it.
And there's a lot of fun things you could do with Discords too, like movie nights, game nights, like everything. So you could do like you said, a lot of community building stuff too, to kind of really have that sense of like family essentially with like those who are like following you.
Yeah. I've mostly just been like, when I stream, I mostly just like been hanging out in one of the voice channels when I stream, or I'll be in my other friend's Discord, and I'll be over there.
No, that's what's up. So give us a little bit about what happened in Cold Blooded Volume 2, and then we'll kind of lead into Volume 1, and then we'll lead into Volume 2, and at that point we'll pull up the Kickstarter.
Volume 2 picks up not too long after the events of Volume 1. As you see, Volume 1 ends on a cliffhanger, and you get the payoff in the first chapter of Volume 2 of that cliffhanger. And there's really only, I guess, one major fight in this book. Even though this book is centered around battles, unless you want to count the fight against the robots. But anyway, there's a little bit of fighting, but then there's training, and so that's kind of like I don't want to call it a training arc, but this is like the training portion before the big bad shows up.
Okay. So with Rembrandt just discovering his reptilian abilities, like how is he with controlling those? Is he still kind of like a loose cannon with them, or does he have a little bit more, mastery over it? Like what's his abilities so far with it?
Like he knows he can use his tail, and then that's about it. Because
hey, a tail would be handy in a fight, though, right?
Yeah, it would be, but it was a whole fifth appendage. He didn't know, oh, I have this thing I can use. He learned that in volume 1, so he already has that down. And then he's learning some of his other abilities, like he can regrow limbs. In volume 2, he does learn that here. And then so far that's about the extent of it. He's just been doing regular like human training, because the way the power works is kind of a multiplier. The stronger your like base form is, the stronger his transformation will be.
Okay. And I noticed with some of the interiors that were on the Kickstarter, it looks like he's in a rather sticky situation. A gigantic spider, it looks like, is getting ready to eat him. I mean, what is going on? Is he? It looks like he's in a quote unquote web of trouble.
Yeah. So that scene may not be exactly what it seems, but it's exploring his psyche. I'll just say that. I guess it's how it could be sort of the cold open. I don't know what you'd call it. But he's kind of tortured over a little bit over the events of volume 1, and so that's what that is dealing with.
Okay, no, I gotcha. So I think right now would be a perfect segue. Let's go ahead and pull up the Kickstarter and go through it together. And for everyone that is watching, right here is the link to check this out. We have 12 days left to go, but a cool thing is there is a free preview, I think, of chapter 3, right? Or the first 3 chapters at the bottom.
Yeah, but it's free to read on Webtoon Tapastic, so you can check that out as well. And I just released chapter 13 not too long ago, because I finished chapter 14, which is the last of volume 2.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over right here. So you said how many chapters is Cold Blooded currently at right now?
It is at 14.
14. All right, let's go. So how many chapters are you planning on having this series be, or is that kind of still to be determined?
Chapters, I don't know. Volumes, I mean, it could easily span like I don't want to sound like too greedy, but maybe like 40-50 volumes or more. But I don't know exactly where that would land the series, because I have arcs planned out in my head. But I know where about the first 10 volumes are going to go, though. Like, where they're more or less going to land. And then after that, it's like the Wild West. I know what I want to do, but I don't know like how many volumes is it going to take to get those stories done. Yeah.
So we are looking at Cold Blooded Volume 2, Manga Monster Battling Monsters, currently at $469 of a $1,200 goal with 13 backers and 12 days left to go. Man, almost halfway there. Let's go. Do you want to watch this video real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure. May as well. We did on Tyler's stream.
In the gym, training on your base form. I get it. Did you already reveal that 30% milestone goal?
Yeah, I did.
So what was it? Give us a little bit. Give us the juice.
You get a poster of your choice out of the 6 chapter covers of volume 2. So, it's going to be, so that's including like the cover there, because the cover of volume 2 is just like one of the chapter covers. So, every book I'm just going to pick one of the chapter covers, and that's going to be like the cover of the book. And it's one of them, and since there's 6 chapters, you have one of 6 choices of which one you want. And that was it. And you get everything, the PDFs, the books, the variant cover, and then a choice of your poster.
So give us a little bit about who's on this cover right here. You know, who are we looking at right here? It looks like some interesting potential villains.
No, actually, well, sort of. These are going to be Rembrandt's nakama, his allies.
Okay. So not villains.
Right. Well, they can. If you're familiar with shonen, they can always start out as villains.
Okay.
In turn.
I gotcha.
So and so from the bottom we have his grandfather. He's like kind of like the All Might Kakashi Sensei. This like he's pretty like all powerful. And then to the guy in the green we have Kid Coolman. He aka Slicer. And then to the right of him we have Jordan Phaser, who can like phase through objects. It's kind of like Lemillion from My Hero, but his power, it has different rules surrounding it. And then we have Auburn right below Rembrandt himself, who is also doubles as kind of like the ninja character. She's not like, that's kind of what I was going with her. Right, even though she never calls herself a ninja, that's kind of like that's kind of like she's a cat, you know. It kind of goes hand in hand. That's why I got the kind of like kunai-esque weapons on her belt, but you know, but they can explode once activated.
And then right here is the first 5 pages from chapter 9 as well. So is this a volume starting off with chapter 9 then? Is that like the introduction?
Yeah, this is the beginning. You know, this is the beginning, and this sequence will make sense once you read it. The first chapter is like, chapter 9 is actually kind of long in comparison to some of the other chapters, because I made it right after my first Kickstarter. And after my first Kickstarter, it had been so long since like I worked on anything. I was just itching to go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like, I just like made a schedule. I'm like, I'm gonna get this chapter done in like a month, and I added pages on, and I was just like, it was grueling. And then I made it. I was like, okay, I'm ready to take a break now. Already.
Oh no! So this could be Dad. What a cliffhanger right here. He's Dad, and it's like we don't get the full reveal, but I love that little cliffhanger right there to leave off on. And of course, we were talking backstage about this. All the people at the cons buying up your volume 1. Congratulations on that. That is so awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's from a couple different cons. Some of those pictures, bottom 6 are from Odessa Anime. Then the 2 at the top right is like I think it was a Toy Con in Odessa, and top left that was actually at his house. You know, I sold it to him as a friend of mine. You know, if you buy it from me off the street, I'll get a picture. I'll get a picture of you with it. I've done it.
And then we have the man himself, Perry in the flesh, right here, of course.
Yeah.
So right here too are the pledges. So let's go through some of the reward tiers as well. And like I said, guys, you can download the first 3 chapters right here, or you can read it in its entirety on these links right here. Here's the link to check this out with us. If you're unable to back this awesome campaign, simply just retweeting it, putting it on Facebook, anywhere you can. We'll get the word of mouth out there, and you know, it's 100% free to do. So you know, what's holding you back? You know, get to the gym now. So we have
call to action.
Cold-Blooded Volume 2 PDF for $5. We have Volume 1 and 2 for $5, and then Volume 1 and 2 for $9. Awesome catch-up tier right there. We have the PDFs plus Volume 2 for $15, so you get the catch-up tier with the physical, and then you get the physical catch-up tier at $25. So awesome tiers. How much are these volumes individually, like page count?
Oh, so volume 1 is like 200. Volume 1 is like around 200 pages. The volume 2 is actually going to be a little bit thinner since less chapters. It's going to be 139 pages.
That's still almost like what, 300, 400 pages for $25. That's an amazing deal.
Yeah, all together. and the story ends, and volume 2 ends in a good spot. So uh I hope for volume 3 to really like hit it and get it, make
Mhm.
it thicker, more stuff, more content in it.
At 39, we have the PDFs plus volume 1 and 2, and then volume 2 variant cover. So any idea of what that cover is going to look like yet, or is that still kind of to be announced?
So David Designs, he's on Instagram. I met him a few times at cons. He's gonna do the variant cover,
Mhm.
and I told him like you can just make a version of like my cover but in your style, because that's what I did with volume 1. And so this will be like, it'll be more cartoony looking,
Okay.
but I think it will look cool. It'll be a good juxtapose to the volume 1 variant, which was a lot more like realistic.
Mm-hmm. And then at 45, we have the 30% milestone bonus, which is going to include the PDFs volume 1, 2 at the variant cover and a poster of your choice as well. At $100, this seems like a heavy hitter. So you got PDFs volume 1, 2, volume 2 cover, and then all 8 single issues. So you have like individual issues as well?
Yeah, because I printed them first, and I need to get rid of them because I don't want to do single issues anymore. I just want to do books.
Mm-hmm.
This is why there's no single issues for volume 2. Because I'm just gonna come out with the books. I think the way to read individual chapters, you can read them online when they come
Yeah.
out, and then get the book when it comes out.
No, that makes sense. And I think it's kind of easier too to kind of like, you get a volume and you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I'm missing issue 4, I'm missing issue 3. Like it's all right there with you in one book. So that is awesome. Right there is the Kickstarter in its entirety. Guys, here is the link one more time. Be sure to check this out. And most importantly, make this project happen. So Perry, after going through that Kickstarter in its entirety, what would you like to say to anyone who might be on the fence about backing?
If you like Dragon Ball Z, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, you'll probably like this. The art gets better, and it's just gonna keep getting better. If you want to be a part of some special, now is like good time to get on the ground floor, because hopefully I want to do a Kickstarter a year at least, with so like a book a year, and start building up a body of work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is awesome, and you really are putting out the work there too. It's funny you're saying I'll take a few days of rest, but I'm like, I don't know, Perry, you've been really hitting the ground running with all this.
It seems like that. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't. Sometimes I wonder, like, maybe I took too many rest days. Like,
so Perry, we've come to my favorite part of the podcast, and you've been on the show before, so you know the drill. For anyone out there who might be struggling just getting going with a project, art style, writing style, or anything in between, what type of advice would you offer them to help them kind of break through that barrier?
About or like writing and drawing?
Just either or, any part of the comic process.
You will not gain experience by not doing it. You just have to do it, and you're gonna learn from there. I'm probably not where I need to be, but by volume 5, maybe I might.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll finally be at a point. Is the thing. I've seen people talking about like quality assurance and all this, and I'm just like, this is indie comics. There is no quality assurance. Like, people are not gonna come out the gates. No one comes out the gates knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of ridiculous to expect that of yourself or other people, to just like start like you've been doing it for years already. That's not how life works. That's not how skills work.
And it really it feels like it would hamper your abilities, right? Like, because you're always being so hard on yourself, you're not giving yourself room to breathe and grow.
Yeah, it is hard on yourself, and it's like Tyler was talking to me about in his stream. Some people they're stuck developing, where they're just in a constant state of working on it, and it's called development hell. He hadn't heard of it before, but that's what it's called when you're just spending so much time developing something, but you never make it, so nothing is ever concrete or set in stone.
Well, it's time to break out development hell with this, right? You know, you can get out
right.
there, you put the pen to the paper and start digging your way out.
Exactly. If it takes it, you can do like a pilot or a one shot, and you can do it over again. I know it sucks, but it's like if I went back and did chapter 1 over, it would be better. Like if I went back and did my chapter 14 over again, I'd probably make it better. It'd probably be better, because like when you do it again and again, it's only gonna get better.
But isn't that kind of like an endless cycle in itself too? You got to know when to step away.
Exactly, and that's the only reason why I just don't go back and constantly redo stuff, because I want to move on. I want to get to the next thing. That's kind of my attitude. Any criticism, critiques I get, I save it for future reference. I don't like going back, but just for someone like, but that's mostly just like if you make a one shot, you would just start over the one time, right? Because that's like how a lot of manga are. If you read Naruto's one shot, it's different from like the actual first chapter.
I didn't even know Naruto had a one shot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, most manga, like, because they get one shots in the contests, and they win for serialization. So then they start over from chapter 1, and they usually go back and rework some things.
I got you. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Just like the pilot of a TV show, because like a lot of TV shows have pilots, and sometimes the pilots are episode 1, sometimes they're not, because they go back and they rework some things. So the pilot may be very different.
No, that is awesome. Perry, thank you so much for swinging by and breaking down Cold Blooded. Hopefully everyone is warming up out there with another hot sale. Back this book, get volume 2, motivate yourself to work out. It's all in the video. It's all 100% true. Here is the link to back it. Perry, thank you so much for swinging by and hanging out with us. Everyone watching, I hope you all have a lovely Friday, but most importantly, keep it geekly.